What's up, guys? Video Game Greek back with another video. I know it's been a while. I apologize for that. I have some great ideas for some future episodes, so I'm going to just be starting with a Halloween themed video game collection here. Hopefully you guys haven't heard of all these games, and it'll kind of tip you off to go play some of these games during the Halloween season here and the fall season. So let's get started. First game I want to talk about is The Simpsons: Bart versus the Space Mutants. Now, this game isn't that great of a game, but if you were a kid growing up around this time, when this time of this video was released, you can definitely say, "Wow, Bart Simpson on a home console! I definitely got to play this." So, you know, it has mutants and stuff, so it's not really a Halloween-themed video game or anything like that, but it's cool to go back and play this type of game and see how bad it is, but how cool you thought it was when you first played it. Next, Maniac Mansion. This is a great kind of point-and-click adventure game. I think it maybe came out on the computer first. This is a type of game where if you go through it multiple times, you'll learn where the secret items are and stuff like that, and what rooms to be going into and stuff like that. So the more you play it, then the better you get, and the more enjoyable this game is. Definitely a fun game to check out. Next, we have the Castlevania series on the NES. Here's the first one. This one, in my opinion, is the best. It's simple and it's just straightforward platforming. It's a great game. I love it. Second, we have Simon's Quest. This is the black sheep of the trilogy, and it's not that good, but it's still a good Castlevania game to play. It's cheap, so why not get it? And then third, people say that this is the best because it kind of does everything right and definitely ends the series on the Nintendo nicely. Next, for the Super Nintendo, the Addams Family. This is a kind of hidden gem, I want to say, as far as a platformer goes. Yeah, I love these two movies growing up. They're now on Blu-ray. Check them out. But this game specifically for the Super Nintendo is a lot of fun. Next, this is my favorite survivor horror type Halloween themed video game ever. It's Zombie Ate My Neighbors. Love it. It's so much fun. It's so unique. I go on and on about it in another video, so check out Zombie Ate My Neighbors. Next, people say that this is the best Castlevania game ever. It's Castlevania 4 or Super Castlevania 4 on the Super Nintendo. It is fantastic. It's great. I'm not going to lie, but it's not my favorite one. My favorite Castlevania game is Bloodlines on the Sega Genesis. And I don't know what it is. I'm not necessarily a Sega fanboy, but growing up, like, I did have a Sega Genesis and not a Super Nintendo earlier on. But I don't know. I just feel Castlevania Bloodlines does it right. Next, Ghostbusters. Another little bit of a hidden gem on the Sega Genesis. I love it. It's got good platforming and like little shooter elements to it. I was a huge fan of the cartoon growing up. You can't go wrong with Ghostbusters. And these games, okay, Splatterhouse 2 and 3, these games blew me away. I always wanted to get these games, never played them. They were really expensive, and just one day I kind of randomly went out to a store and they had them. They were expensive, but I'm like, you know what, I got to give them a shot. People like them. And when I got them home, I'm so happy I got them. They are definitely worth the price tag. I like Splatterhouse 3 better than 2. Just because it's not just a 2D, it's 3D, where you can roam around a little more, but still, both are fantastic, and you have to play these games. You get definitely a special feeling playing these games during this time of year, so check out Splatterhouse 2 and 3 on the Sega Genesis. Next, we're going to go to the PlayStation and Dreamcast. I'm going to warn you, there's a lot of Dreamcast games here, but that's kind of the cool thing about the Dreamcast is they had a lot of survivor horror type Resident Evil games, and it's a great place to start if that's the type of genre you like, is the Dreamcast. Cheap, they're fun, they're easy to pick up and play, they're all a little arcadey at times, but there's a lot of them out there. So first, for the PlayStation, Resident Evil Survivor. Next, this is Death Crimson OX, and this is a light gun game for the Dreamcast. It's great. It's great. I love it. But not as good as House of Dead 2 for the Dreamcast. It's another unbelievable light gun game. Alright, Resident Evil series for the Dreamcast. Code Veronica is the first one. This is the first one I played. It's kind of interesting. Just playing this game, it was so much fun just trying to find items in this game. And I don't know what it is. I think it was probably like the elements of it's dark. You know, you can't see anything. The whole time you're kind of scared, and you really know you have to find this item that like progress so the zombies don't come and get you. So I think that's why it was so much fun. All of them were fun, but for whatever reason, this is the first time I experienced it, so it's most memorable in the Code Veronica game. And then this is, though, in my opinion, Resident Evil 2 is the best Resident Evil game I've ever played. It's just better than Code Veronica, and they get everything right in that game. This is another really good game, but just not as good as Resident Evil 2 in my opinion. Next, very interesting, a little bit of a massive Dreamcast game, Illbleed, but I think it's worth it if you like these types of survivor horror games. I'm sorry if I keep saying that a lot, but this is the type of genre that you want to play during Halloween. So. And this game, they kind of try to throw all these different types of elements in this game. They call it like a horror monitor, what you're trying to find to like survive in this game, and it's kind of like they set it up as a movie, and you have to survive through these 7 different like movie themed worlds, they call it. So it's a great little hidden gem on the Dreamcast. Next. This is a great, just beat 'em up, like going through just smoking zombies. It's great. I love this game. Evil Dead: Hail to the King, and you use all kinds of crazy, over-the-top weapons to do it. So it gets real bloody. It's real messy. It's a fun game. Next, Dino Crisis, kind of like a Resident Evil clone, but it's from the creators of the Resident Evil game, so it's not really a clone because it's another game from the creators. This is the first game I think I played on the Dreamcast, Blue Stinger. Fun game. This is more of a clone, but they make it so quirky you can't really call it a clone of Resident Evil. I am blown away with this game every time I play it. It's just I get really good nostalgic feelings, and it's fun to play around the time of year. Really good graphics for a launch game for the Dreamcast. Shadow Man, never played it. Nightmare Creatures 2, never played it. Zombie Revenge, I talk about this in other videos. This is probably my favorite zombie game on the Dreamcast. It's very arcadey. It's great with multiplayer though. Carrier, I'm sorry, I never played this either. This is a great game. It combines third and first person gameplay. So it's a fun game. It's not that much of a survivor horror or zombie type game or anything like that, but there are monsters, and that's why I threw it in here. Alone in the Dark, I would consider this a little more of one. It's fun. I didn't really get that far in it. I just couldn't keep my attention, but from what I hear, people really like this game. Alright, a couple left here. Resident Evil Dead Aim. This is a light gun game. It's actually really good. You can use it, the controller with it, and it actually works really well. They tried to expand on the series, and it's really good. I think CGR Undertow just did a good review on it. Now for the Xbox, GameCube, and PlayStation 2 generation of consoles, say that this is the best Resident Evil game, and it is. I mean, it's really good. They made a HD remake recently on the Xbox Arcade or whatever, and it's great. It's a lot of fun to play. Resident Evil 0. This is another fun game. I haven't played a lot of it, but I liked it. It's another great game in the series. Awesome light gun game for the Xbox, House of the Dead. I don't really like this game as much as the Dreamcast version, but it's good. And again, here's another like Evil Dead, a fistful of boomstick. This is again kind of like more of a beat 'em up. You're going out there and just straight housing zombies. It's great with all kinds of cool, fun weapons. Dark Watch is a hidden gem of a first-person shooter on the Xbox. Can't say enough good things about this. It's by Capcom. It'll blow your mind how good this game is. For just a first-person campaign is stellar. You have to check it out. The weapons are great. The gameplay is great. Hit detection, everything is good. And last but not least, Left 4 Dead. At any time, I can pick this game up and have a blast with my friends. It's just a great first-person shooter where you're going through, starting from one point and trying to get from point A to point B through a map and get to the safe house without having the waves of zombies try to get you. It's just, they do it right. It's a perfect game in my opinion. And I wonder if they're coming out with the Left 4 Dead 3. I played 2, but I wasn't blown away. This is simple compared to the Left 4 Dead 2, and I love it. So, anyway, guys, hope you like it. If you have any questions, let me know. Happy Halloween.